Welcome to another episode of Spirit Walking with Spirit Walker.
I'm your host, Spirit Walker, and here I am again on this May the 2nd, 2020, beautiful day, out here to check on the pond project at Pratt Park, which was begun on April 17th. So it's been a little while since they started the project. We're going to check in on it today. Let's walk. So we're over here at the entrance near the wooden bridge. You can see where the water's kind of wore a little bit of a hole into the side of the build up there. The water's still flowing nicely through here, but it stalls out as you get further down. We now have two little ducks down there in that deep pond. Also, there's a young man trying to catch the larger fish in the next deep hole over. And he's trying to catch them so he can relocate them. He was a little upset about all the fish that died out here. Of course, there's not much they can do about it, but he's trying to do his part. He's trying to catch the fish in a net so he can relocate them into the creek. I think that's a fine gesture. There's a few smaller fish right there by the ducks, but I don't see any large fish in this first deep pool. The water is flowing quite nicely down to the next deep pool, where this young man's trying to catch the larger fish in there to relocate them. So you can see they've added a gate here to the drain pipe. They said they were going to add a valve or something so that they could drain it into the pond or into the creek at will. Before, there was a pole sticking up out of that area right now that they have a plate over, and they did put in another entry point there where the cone is, directly over the drain pipe. This is the old one over here. Looks like they did clean up a little bit. I don't see the dead fish that were out there. Of course, it's been 3 days since I've been out here. This is what the overall pond looks like now. Still, it's drying out, but you can see the main part of the pond there is just not draining any longer. There's no water coming down from it at all. The only part that is draining is actually the part where it enters. And so basically the creek is just running straight on through and straight out to Watauga Creek. Well, they have some fresh railroad ties back here. If they use them like they did before, and it looks like they are because they are barred together, then what they've been doing is coming out here with an excavator. They'll pick up one flat part, series of railroad ties, swing it around, back off of this entryway that they've sort of made with the wheels of their excavator as they went down, go down in there, put the flat parts down as a ramp, drive onto it, spin around 180 degrees, pick up another set of those railroad ties, swing them around and put them in front of the others, and then continue to build a ramp out, picking them up, putting them in front of the excavator as they go, and then excavating to the sides of it, digging out the silt and everything on each side of it, then picking them up, spinning around, and reversing the process back to the land. Now that's the way that they dug out that little canal right there. So that's probably the way they're going to try to dig out the rest of it, and they're probably just waiting on it to dry out enough to bear the weight of the machine, because it sank down quite a ways into the mud before and they had quite a time getting it out. In fact, you can see some pieces of wood right there that broke off of the railroad ties they tried before. No doubt there's parts of it still down in the mud. It just didn't work out so well, because they sank down so deep. You can see shards sticking up there That's where they had the railroad ties that they used at that point. After they used them, they put them up there. And you can see many pieces broken off of those railroad ties because they got bogged down in that sludge. So it looks like they have new railroad ties. They're waiting on it to dry out a little bit so they can begin doing that, and hopefully I can get down here when they're actually doing it. There is still water draining out into Tauga Creek. The creek is at about normal level. So I came down the trail to look from the other direction. I'm standing on that little wooden bridge down by the swimming area. There's the water coming out of the pipe, flowing down through here, and it looks like it's merely a trickle now compared to what it was before, which makes sense because there's not a lot of water draining out of the pond at this moment. The creek is so peaceful, just quietly flowing down to the river. It's looking like it's drying up, but this main part of the pond still has quite a bit of water in it. Pretty much the remnants of the dead fish that littered the area the last time I was out here are gone. There's a high spot there in the center, and water just still kind of trapped and stagnated in this pool. And that's really what we need to fix about this pond, is the stagnation problem. And it's because of the silt buildup from where the creek flows into the pond. That silt buildup has kept the creek from circulating the water in the pond. They put a fountain out here at one time. It worked for a little while, but then the algae buildup was just too much. Hopefully we can correct that problem and have another beautiful pond for the Pratt Park. Just a quick view from the other side. I don't see any turtles or any birds or squirrels out here today. But then again, it is a hot day. See some squirrels and geese up there on the hill by the Doster Center, or by the Senior Center, I mean. That young man caught a fish about probably a couple of inches long. Not very big. Trying to catch the fish out of there and relocate them. Let me just add that a lot of people love the park and love the pond when it looked good and it was just a pleasant place to come, bring your family, walk around, fish with the kids. And there's a lot of people sad about the state of the pond at this point. They really need something to kind of buoy their spirits, and so I'm out here shooting these videos to try to let people know that there is progress being made. That someday, hopefully, we will have a beautiful pond out here at Pratt Park. You can come, bring your family, and enjoy it. And I guarantee you will find me out here at some point, even if I'm either shooting video or doing special projects out here. But I will be shooting a video called Win Stuff I Don't Want Anymore. I'll be doing it many times with many different people. Hopefully you can be involved. All you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel, SpiritWalking. Look at these videos. You can register with the hashtag NDNComic. Hashtag NDNComic. And then I will know you are ready to play Win Stuff I Don't Want Anymore. Until then, this is Spirit Walker. I've enjoyed our little walk together. I'll be back with more videos. Subscribe. As usual, I'm Spirit Walker, and I approve of this message.